Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day today. Today, I want to talk about struggling with loneliness, specifically as someone who is same-sex attracted and a born-again believer, because I feel like a lot of people assume that the reason why they're feeling these immense feelings of loneliness are because of a lack of romantic partner. And while I believe that this is a part of it, I believe that the root is actually a little bit deeper. So the feeling of loneliness stems from usually three different things: feeling like you're not being seen, feeling like you're not being heard, or feeling like you're not being known or understood. Maybe you're feeling like you're not being seen because you have this struggle that you feel like you can't tell anybody about, and so you're just kind of suffering in silence. Maybe you're not feeling heard because instead of people listening to you, people are kind of coming at you like they're an expert, even though they've never struggled with this, and telling you what to do, and kind of not really listening to what you have to say, even though, like I said before, they've never gone through it themselves. Maybe you're not feeling known or understood because people are making assumptions about you, and instead of just asking you about it or talking to you about it, people are maybe gossiping about you, people are maybe, spreading rumors about you. I believe that believers who struggle with same-sex attraction feel all three of these, I would say, on probably a daily basis. When you have a struggle that's so, niche, makes it harder for you to be able to relate to other people. And especially with something like same-sex attraction, where there's almost no room for discussion about it in the church, or people kind of create this environment where there's no room to discuss these things, can make people feel like they're almost on an island. Because you're struggling with something that's so real and touches on so many different parts of your life that you're unable to express these thoughts, feelings, and opinions in a manner in which people are maybe open to hearing you, understanding and compassionate, or maybe just simply willing to listen without assuming that they have all the answers. So the reason why I'm bringing these up is not to make you feel more depressed. Rather, it's because I feel like a lot of people view marriage as a band-aid solution, which it's not, because feelings of loneliness arise even in married couples. I told you, I know a friend when I was in college who was in a romantic relationship. They were always together, and she was telling me that she was struggling with extreme loneliness because she had instances where she felt like she wasn't being seen or heard or understood by her boyfriend. So going back to marriage, obviously I'm not against marriage in any way, shape, or form, but I know that a lot of people will bring up marriage as a band-aid solution for loneliness. And this is not just in, people who struggle with same-sex attraction. This is just regular, straight people as well. Unfortunately, I think we need to remember that those feelings of loneliness don't arise necessarily from having a lack of people around you. Rather, it's certain needs that you have that you feel like aren't being met. And those needs can be met socially, not always romantically. Now, obviously, yes, if you're someone who struggles with same-sex attraction, yes, we do have romantic needs that aren't necessarily being met if you're practicing celibacy. But I think that to kind of view marriage as this end-all be-all solution to the problem does a lot more harm than good. And like I said, that goes for people who are same-sex attracted and straight as well. Obviously, for people who are same-sex attracted, a lot of us believe that marriage is not in the picture for us. And despite scriptures talking about the blessings that come with being single, people are still trying to push marriage as the solution to every problem. And I believe that this actually harms straight people as well, because then you have all these people who have these really high expectations and then are disappointed when they get there and find that they're maybe still struggling with loneliness despite now having this partner that they believe was going to solve all their problems. I'm moving on from that. I don't want to just make this whole video about marriage, because I actually do have another video where I want to talk about how the church has unfortunately kind of idolized marriage. But going back, the reason why I wanted to break down these kinds of roots of loneliness, because I want people to understand that there are other solutions rather than getting married, especially if you're someone who, like I said, is celibate. When it comes to the solution to these, feeling like you're not being seen, heard, or understood, I feel like a lot of it can be solved with having community. Having community with people who are like-minded, people who get you, is extremely healing. I was on a Discord call a couple of nights ago with a bunch of other brothers who also struggle with same-sex attraction, and in those moments and in those conversations, I know that I'm being seen, heard, and understood by them because they know the struggle that I have. They understand the struggle that I have because they have it too. And those just kind of feelings of, again, being seen and being heard diminishes those feelings of loneliness so much. When you know that someone gets you and you feel like, okay, they know me, that can diminish your feelings of loneliness immensely. Born-again believers who struggle with same-sex attraction, I believe that we are the people who need community the most sometimes. Obviously, everybody needs community, but I feel like believers who struggle with same-sex attraction really have a strong need for community because of that lack of a romantic partner, and unfortunately, they're the ones who receive community support the least. So like I said, that's why I started this channel. That's why I started the Discord. That's why I started the blog, because I understand and I know that when you feel like no one gets you in the world, that just makes that feeling of feeling like you're on an island and feeling lonely and like no one gets you, that increases those feelings immensely, skyrockets them. So finding people who are like-minded and who get you and understand you, I believe, is crucial to kind of overcoming these feelings of loneliness. You know, we live in an age where we have the beauty of online community. God has, if you're watching this video, it means that you have access to some form of internet. And while I personally would prefer that all of us are in person having fellowship with each other, sometimes we go with what we got, and right now, this box that you're watching on, this is what we got. Now, obviously, there are areas where you can have fellowship with people and have community apart from online community. You know, if you have friends in your life whom you trust, friends who you know understand you, if you feel safe around them, then maybe be more of yourself around them. You know, something that I've been trying to do more is just simply be myself, my whole self, including, you know, my personality that's a little bit more extroverted and maybe a little bit loud sometimes, as well as my taking my faith seriously and, you know, this is who I am. I've been trying to be more of that just around people, whether they're a believer or a non-believer. When you're not trying to be somebody else, or when you are, you know, being yourself, you will attract the people who like you for you. And so when you are surrounded by people who like you for you, again, those feelings of loneliness do decrease. And I understand, because I know I've had so many people quote this at me, that, you know, it's easier when you're a young adult. I very much understand and appreciate that. I know that I am only 26, and I have a couple people on here who are well into their 40s, 50s, 60s who have told me, you know, when you're older, it's harder. However, that shouldn't stop us from doing something right now. I understand it's harder to make friends when you're an adult, but like I said before, we have a whole bunch of us here who are struggling with this thing, who are on here on YouTube. We're all here to support and uplift each other, so I don't know why we don't just use that. So I really hope this video helps. I know I didn't necessarily give a specific solution, but rather the reason why I wanted to bring up the roots of where those feelings of loneliness might be coming from is so that you can almost find your own way of how to get those needs met, whether it's through hobbies, whether it's through meeting new people, whether it's through, you know, finding online community, whether it's through, you know, being more open and honest with, you know, other people and, you know, telling people things about yourself if you feel safe. So I really hope that this, you know, helps and maybe even validates some of what you're going through. But anyway, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, do not ever hesitate to leave me a comment down below or shoot me an email at my email address down here. Also, if you want to join our Discord page, or not Discord page, if you want to just join our Discord, it's basically our online community where you have chats and video calls sometimes. Feel free to send me an email as well, and I will send you an invite. Also, we have a blog for this channel as well. I'll put a link for that down in the description box. I can't talk. And if you have anything that you want to write for that, we have a bunch of brothers and sisters who are, you know, writing articles for that. If you have anything you want to share or write, totally email that to me as well, and I would love to publish it. Also, if you have any prayer requests, let me know of those as well. And as always, have a lovely rest of your day, and God bless.